Peace and love, everybody. You're at the Institute of Ancestral Braiding, and we're hosting a class right now. We just finished with April, who is wanting to learn more about natural hair care and natural hair care styles. She is a natural. She just automatically does this with no effort whatsoever. And then I had Brother John here. He's here, and he's been wanting to work on natural hair. He does a lot of fashionable things, like with fabric and things like that, but he's really, really good with designs and hairstyling, and his touch is really, really, really incredible. So he's here learning how to do two-strand twist, and April is also doing two-strand twist extensions. But what I want to ask April is, did you already know how to braid, or have you been braiding for a living, or?
I just mostly braid to the scalp, never add hair.
Never added hair.
No.
I promise you. This is the first one she did, y'all. Is that perfection? She listens well. The majority of the people that come, they think they already know, but this sister has a very keen ear. And her ear, it tunes into my voice, and she listens well. You have to be teachable if you're going to come to the Institute of Ancestral Braiding and perfect what God has given you. So what we did today was I started her out on natural hair. This is Kayana. And Kayana was pretty nervous about, coming. I asked her to sit. And she was pretty nervous about coming in and having her hair done. I asked her to sit because she's always very supportive of the Institute of Ancestral Braiding and of Naturally Isis, and she's just supportive, period. And I want to ask you, what were your thoughts briefly about, sitting and having to get your hair done when you first came this morning?
Well, I was excited and very, very grateful that she asked me to sit, but I had an idea of getting Bantu knots, and then I was like, no, I chickened out. I got nervous. But then later on, when April got started, I realized I should have listened to Isis the first time. And so Isis and April were both very patient, and they worked them in, as you can see. And so between Isis and April, everything turned out really well. I love my hair.
I'm going to ask you, April, come over here for a second, because when I started instructing her on what to do, she started looking at her hair, because in the back part of Kayana's hair, it was kind of short. So what were you thinking when you saw me plaiting and I was picking up that little hair, and you trying to figure out in your mind, what is this lady doing? What were you thinking? Because I can see you saying something.
Well, when I looked at Kiana's hair, I noticed how short it was, so I was like, okay, I'm going to grip it. And when I see Miss Isis adding an extension in, I was like, okay, how did she do this? So I'm trying to watch every bit of her finger movement as she was adding the extension, and that's when I caught on. And it took like a couple of tries, but I didn't give up. I kept going.
She did, and she was good. And so we took just a little bit, where the part where there was hardly any hair, we took a little bitty pieces of extension and kind of wrapped it in there. And I know that Kayana is very particular about wearing her own natural hair and not having anything in it, but she sat there and she was like, okay, it's short, so Miss Isis is working on it, so I figure it's going to be okay. After we finished her hair, actually after April finished her hair in the back, then all this was left loose, and she was like, now what? Because it was taking a minute to twist it all together. And I said, okay, let's do some triangle knots. They're called African knots, Nubian knots. People call them twists. You do this when you go to bed at night, when you want to condition natural hair, or when you want to make it stronger, you want to make it manageable. There's so many things that we do with our hair that makes it really, really supple and easy to work with. So anyway, we did this triangle, and with her own hair, put the Sisters of Isis cream on it, sprayed it with the leave-in conditioner, and wrapped it around and kind of sealed it with one little rubber band. And in some cases, you don't even have to use the rubber band if the hair is very long. But I left the classroom, came back. April was done with her hair. And so we put the little bangs in because I wanted to kind of accentuate her facial structure, her design that God has given her is so beautiful, and we wanted it to pop. And this style did just that. It made it pop. So April is a natural. Y'all meet April. April is really going to do some wonderful things in this, industry. I'm just so happy that I can pass the baton and give this art to people people like John and April and many others that have come through. We just want to thank you for allowing us to work on your hair. And remember, you can come to naturallyisis.com and check us out, or you can call us at 214-329-3820. And don't forget, if you want your hair done during the time that we're doing and conducting class, just give us a call. Again, 214-329-3820. If you have any questions, email us at naturallyisis@yahoo.com. Let's continue. Until next time, wow.
Thank you.
Okay.